Is this live?
Yeah, it's live right now.
Okay, that's cool. Hi, everybody. I can't see the chat, but hi.
No, they're on Twitch right now.
Okay.
Oh shit, I am getting a little feedback. No, I'm not. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Well, it'll be fine. I'll just have to whisper. I'll have to speak like this because I speak too loud. Whatever. Okay. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? It got really cold in Canada out of nowhere, so you know.
Oh, is that?
To my nipples, the summer's over.
Okay. Is that where you live in Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I didn't even know that. I live in the United States, so.
Yeah,
How close to the border do you live?
I'm in Alberta.
I don't know what that means. I'm old and dumb.
I suck at geometry, so I have no idea.
Okay, because I live in New York, so that's like a 7-hour drive, I think, to Canada.
Geometry? That's not geometry.
I think it's maybe you meant geology, but I don't think it's geology either. Mapography? I don't know.
A long day.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Now that you're getting me, like, people think I'm so smart, but I don't know shit. They're saying it's geography. They're saying that you got it right.
Oh, it is geography.
Maybe.
That's what I thought.
Or they're mocking the both of us.
I believe I was right. For some reason, I was thinking I was going into like shapes and circles and math.
No, they're making fun of us. No, it's I don't know, some maps. It's somewhere. Maps. That's all. I
have no idea how close I am to the border. I'm close enough for it to be fucking.
Yeah, no, maps don't matter. Like, it's like a useless skill. Everybody in these schools, they think they're so smart because they know like things like what an adverb is, but that's not life applicable. Nobody gives a shit about adverbs.
No, not unless you're playing like games like Mad Libs with your grandpa or something.
Yeah, right. And at that point, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, grow up.
What are you even doing at that point?
Yeah.
You might as well just go learn about that shit at that point.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I've been watching you since I think you had 1 million. I don't even know when the first time, because I used to get you confused with that one guy's opinion, because that one guy's opinion pulled some really dirty shit on me. And then I think
did he? Yeah, he pulled some dirty shit on me too.
He did. He like completely. I don't know.
I heard like the story a little bit. I heard like there's something going on with something, and then like he pretended that he talked to like an investigator, and then like he got
so stupid, because what he was claiming, like, I did live in front of 600 people. So, I remember him talking to me and being like, yo, let's bring awareness to this. It was Clap Daddy. And so I was like, why is everybody making videos about it? This guy is like straight up targeting children. So I went on TikTok live before I was banned, and right in front of like 600 people, I spoke to, I think he was in San Francisco, something. I don't even know. I can't remember now. It was so long ago. But I spoke to somebody on the phone about, all of this stuff about like, the statistics about these children and what they really go through. She told me that they're targeted on Minecraft, and, so I did this in front of 600 people. And then he messaged me and was like, did you talk to Detective Soto? And I just assumed that was the woman I was speaking on the phone with. I didn't know the fucking name. So I said yes. And I guess he'd made up that name to try to prove to his followers that I never spoke to anybody, but I did it in front of 600 people.
Yeah,
so there's
he's a clout chaser.
Hundreds of thousands that believe I didn't versus like the 600 that were in that live. So it's like,
yeah, whatever. I mean, he's a clout chasing dick. Like, I mean, I don't even.
Has his page built at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't like to talk about him because like he really is very much irrelevant to me. But he tried to come after me when I hit 1 million. Because he said that I just target like kids and girls, and then like I ran him through the ringer. He refused to come on my live stream. Then he accused me of being a predator, and then after he did that, he deleted his account for a month. So like
a few people have made. Well, I mean, I'm dating somebody that's 22, and people are trying to say he's 16. Like people just make those accusations when they don't have anything else. Like I could probably confidently say that I'm probably like the #1 TikToker with like the most false allegations against me, like the most, and ones that have been like disproved.
Well, people really don't like you, like and I can see why maybe you're unlikable. I like you, just for context, but people just don't give you the benefit of the doubt. Like they want to reach out as hard as possible against you because you pissed off the alt community.
Well, and I support the alt community so much because, I mean, I think if anything, if you look at myself, technically I'm a part of it. So, And I feel really bad because, you know, the alt community really is like heavily targeted on TikTok. And I can't help but think about like what those kids' lives are going to school. You know, kids that don't even have anything to do with that. And other kids look at and be like, oh, alt community, and just automatically treat them differently. You know what I mean? But there is like a certain, you know, there's like this cancel culture. And like I definitely have said some things that like even I look back and I'm like, Chloe, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
so
I've been
we
there
learn.
too. I've done the same thing, honestly.
Yeah, well, we learn and we grow, and if
During
we're
the
not
summer was
learning and
rough.
growing, why are we here the summer?
Our summer was rough with like George Floyd, and like everybody was home and angry. It was crazy. So like I was, it was a crazy time. Like the most toxic part of the app was all over the place, and that was like the political part, honestly. And you know, now things have died down, thankfully.
Yeah. Why do
So
you? How come you show so much like support for, you know, the trans community and like, and I really support that. I just want to know like what sparked that? What sparked your, you know, like your passion for it? Because I mean, people ask me all that about like men's rights stuff and all that, and so I just want
that's
to
an
know like what
interesting
your.
question. It's an interesting and perceptive question because like, you know, like so nobody says it, but like I do, like I have these, especially I'll have these like bursts where I'll talk about trans people like a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's funny that you picked up on that. I don't know. I think it just comes to mind sometimes, I guess, or rather, it's just like I'll see it and then I'll talk about it, and
You'd be like, this is wrong.
that'll hit, yeah. And people
Yeah.
want to talk to me about it because like I'll talk about it because I don't know if you saw, but I talked to like Desmond Fabrini. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I
Talked
do.
to the her or him. Sorry, he did it.
Yeah.
It was him. And then like Tyler Bowman wanted to talk about trans stuff, and everybody wants to talk about trans
Tyler,
stuff,
yeah.
and then like you know, there's a couple of like well, there's at least like one trans like person who likes it when I make fun of them on TikTok. So I try to make fun of them sometimes, you know. But I don't know. I really don't know. I guess because like it's the most
Well, you know,
confusing.
men are so stereotyped as well. Just like, you know, they they stereotype each other. Society stereotypes them. You know, you're a burly man with a big beard,
Yeah,
and
no,
you
I'm a
just, you know,
racist
you're.
conservative.
Yeah, well, society would just like stereotype you as this, like, put you in a certain box, and you like push outside that box so much that it does impress me a lot, actually, because I mean, there is the trans community really is targeted, and I heard something today about in the U.S. that there like might be a risk of like equality in marriage being revoked. Do you know anything about that?
I think it's like a lot of noise. I think right now with all
I
these
think so too. I
conservative,
think it's because
yeah,
there's one conservative woman that joined, and people are like,
yeah, I
"Oh
forgot
no,
her
she's
name.
gonna make it."
What is her name?
Yeah, but
That's a good
I mean,
question.
I mean, I think that everybody would riot if that happened. Well, they already did the Stonewall riots, right?
What
That
is
was
it? Judge Amy, was it Amy Barrett? Maybe is that it?
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
So you know what it is? It's like, well, Trump got a bunch of conservative judges in, and people think that like Roe v. Wade's going to be overturned and that they're going to overturn gay marriage. And I know that like it's apparently in like the Republican, I don't know, but like it's not going to happen. Most people are fine with gay marriage. Most people are fine with abortions, even conservatives. Like the number's like 75%. It's like a lot of like fear tactics, and most judges, like even this girl, seems to be very like impartial. Like she's conservative, but she's not going to revoke gay marriage at this point.
I mean, you would have
You
to.
can't.
That's a mega set of balls to be the like the woman that's in charge of.
No, yeah, there's
Yeah, I couldn't see it. I mean, they've fought for their rights for so long to revoke it now, which is we
yeah, it's one of those
setbacks.
things where it's like it exists now. It's not gonna not exist anymore. Like they're not gonna do that.
Well, is it because it's not legal in all states yet? Is it?
Gay marriage? Yeah, no, it's
Is
like
it?
nationwide. Yeah, yeah, it's nationwide.
Nationwide, right? So
Yeah.
in Canada too, right? Yeah.
I don't know about probably. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
guys are
think
more
Canada, I
progressive than
think it's
us.
been legalized for a while, but I know parts of like the UK, it's still
Is it?
I
UK's a
believe
big
it's
place,
still
so
yeah, I
and
believe it's still not. I could be wrong. So I'm
I
only
honestly
watching
don't
this
know. I
on
mean,
TV.
we could look it up. Maybe I know that the let's see is who really knows at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten
Oh yeah,
accusations of.
it's legal in there.
Is it really? Maybe
Yeah.
what I was watching was a bit old. Is there places where it's not that aren't like Western world?
Where's not Western world? Sure, like everywhere. Nobody
No,
likes
I
gay
mean,
people.
pardon me. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, are there places Western world where it's not legalized?
Probably not. I don't know exactly, but I doubt it. Because like once the America does something, like everybody else follows suit. You know, we're very spooky. You know, so
Yeah. You know, I freaking people. I've been accused of being because this might be like a little controversial to say, and like don't cancel me. But when that Don Eli or however you say his name,
yeah, Danelli, I think is how you say it.
when that stuff came out, I was like a big defender against like I think you guys are overreacting,
Hmm.
and like and I really went back and I like did my research, and I think it was a bit transphobic,
You think
to be
so?
honest.
I
I
still
think
don't think
one
so.
video is fine, but I think I just think I think it comes down to this. It comes down, maybe it's not directly him, but as like big creators, we have a responsibility, and that is to like we don't have to. I always say I'm not obligated to like hear my message to the dumbasses.
Mhm.
I'm obligated to make it so that the majority can understand, it's equalized, stuff like that. And as somebody like him that has such a large community, and as like in a place like TikTok where trans people are targeted so heavily, if it's not transphobic, it's irresponsible, and if anything could project like transphobia, just in my opinion. Because if it was just one video, but there was so many that it was,
Mhm.
it was just so blatant. It was like, and then it was like, and
I
even things, it wasn't like a dude was turning into a full cow costume like some of them I've seen. It was just
right.
like a transformation, and one of them was actually one of my friends, Tay Schneider,
Oh yeah.
or
Who's
I hope,
that? Who's Tay Schneider? Is that like a young trans girl?
yeah,
Like
like 17 years
17?
old.
Yes.
Followed, yeah, I followed her before
Did
I
she
like
follow
even
you
had a
back?
presence. Yeah, we're friends now, but
That's very
not
nice.
before. I just followed her, but yeah, I mean, I just think that what it does is maybe it can give the perception to people watching, especially someone that doesn't speak, somebody that can't outward or doesn't outwardly say, these are just videos. I support the
Well, he
community.
said it in his comments. Like he was saying it in his comments, like to his credit. Because with that situation, because I understand exactly what you're saying, and I think that there's only so much you can do to like rein in your followers. I think he could have done more. He could have talked and made a video. I know that like
I
he's a
think he
young.
should have stopped doing it.
Well, here's the thing, because I just so you know, I covered that story to like the degree where. Do you know that there was a New York Times article written about him?
I did, and
Yeah,
my boyfriend actually sat and like Googled it.
yeah, no. So I ended up talking with the article writer on my stream. So like I was really, really
Oh,
like
that's
at the
awesome.
yeah, I was in the forefront of that whole thing, and like what it was what happened. Like he was doing the videos, and like to me, it's like shock. Like listen, when you transition, it's shocking, and like you're looking for
Of
shock.
course.
He just happens to give you a bit of a negative shock. I find it to be more like satirical. But the thing is that like he said he was going to stop before any punishment. Like when he was like he was verified and like whatever, and he said like, oh, I'll stop. I didn't know it was that big of a deal, basically, and they still canceled him. And it's because that guy Heartthrobber decided to like cancel him rather than to like educate him.
I
Because
remember that.
yeah, Heartthrobber, like he did this whole thing where he slandered Danelli on his like Instagram, and then Danelli found the audio and he put it up on his TikTok, and then everybody started attacking Heartthrobber, and then he's like, see, look, he's trying to send people after me, instead
The
of
whole
like,
victimization. Okay,
oh
well then
yeah,
maybe,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
my perception is a little bit off. I was under the impression that he had like just continued
Yeah,
to
no,
do it
most
after
people
people were
thought that.
upset, and
Yeah,
I
no,
was
I
like,
understand that.
that's not responsible, because we do have a responsibility on this app. And that's why I'm so pissed off at Jerome right now, because it's like,
We could talk about Jerome. I just want to
you're
say
like, we'll
that
talk about that guy
Danelli got banned
also.
again, by the way. Like, he just got banned again on an account where he doesn't even duet people. They just banned him again. Like, now he's, like, really, like, the target of, like, cancel culture. Like, he's just goofing around. He doesn't duet people, and they still can't. This is, like, his 8th account. Like,
Well,
it's not even TikTok. It's, like, people on TikTok are very toxic.
Well, I was the same way. I lost 6 accounts until I got signed. And then once I got signed, I stopped losing my account. However, I made
Mhm.
it through a 3-month ban. I was banned for 3 months.
Wow. Like,
And then
permanently
I
banned?
made
Like,
it.
you were banned, or, like, your account was
My
banned?
account. So what they would do is they would go, you're banned for a week. And then as soon as that week went up, boom, you're banned for another week.
Mhm.
That week was up, boom, another week. And it happened for 3 months. Never thought I was going to get my account back.
That's
So
crazy.
I made my secondary account, I got like 500,000, I think, in like a week and a half. And then I got my main account back. But like, it's kind of just what like what comes, like for me, I mean, I kind of understand because like, you know, especially back then, the way I was conveying my message, honestly, like wasn't 100% responsible or like necessarily appropriate. And I own that. And I work like every day to fix it. But, you know, like somebody like Jerobe, oh man, it's so funny. I got to be, I was invited on a Twitch stream with, you know, like Nick Foster, freaking The Martian, like a few other big TikTokers. And Nick he had shown his shirt, the merch he got.
Yeah, the I'm better. I think that's very funny. I like that.
We came up with an idea in this stream, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get a shirt. I'm gonna say I'm worse or be worse. I think it was I'm worse. No, it's be worse. And then the other guy is gonna get one that says I'm the worst.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
We're just gonna have this chain. But you know, it's so hypocritical the way that, and you know, I have to be so careful talking about it because like, you know, I am a men's rights advocate and I do believe in, you know, men's trauma and men having feelings towards those things. And like, I don't believe in invalidating them. So I do have to be very careful because I don't want to, you know, invalidate anybody. But, you know, all I'm going to say is, you know, he was friends with both of those people. This shit happened back in August.
You're talking about like the sexual assault type of thing.
Yeah,
right?
so we found out about it after. So, you know, if he's friends with these two people, the chances that he probably found out about it before.
Oh, was it August? It was in August?
It happened.
Really?
Yeah, this all happened in August.
That makes it worse because like he kept his friend's picture on there until like iSpeak called him out, which is insane. So he maintained that friendship. That's disgusting.
Well, and what bothers, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure from the research that I've done is that, you know, that it had actually happened a little bit before anybody found out about it. And if that is true, you know, Jerobe was friends with both of them. So the chances that he knew probably around the same time, you know, she might have gone to him and been like, yo, this happened. And he still didn't take that picture down. So, and what bothers me the most is like, I didn't even understand the last video he posted. I didn't even understand that was about her because I couldn't understand. Like he was so
I know what you're talking about. Shit. Like the one he posted like a week and a half ago before he left for a week and a half. Because he just posted a new video today.
Oh, did he? I haven't seen it.
It's like he basically was like, hey, I'm bisexual. I'm coming out of the closet, guys. Like it was nothing to do with the drama going on.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm just gonna say it then. I think that Jerobe is strategic. I think here's what I'm just.
Do you think he's strategic? I think he's a moron, honestly.
No, I think he's a moron, but I think he tries to be strategic. I don't know when he came out about his sexual assault, and I'm not saying that didn't happen, and I do.
It probably happened, but he came out with it the second I called him out because. So what happened was like that was a response to me.
It seems convenient timing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was. Did you see my video that called him out? Probably not, right?
I watched a lot of your videos.
It was so.
Call him out a lot.
I do. Okay, so it was recent-ish. It was like a week and a half ago. So basically, what happened is like he streamed, right? He started streaming, whatever. One of my mods popped into his his Discord, and he started talking to his he has one of two mods, like one of his friends.
I've seen this, and he accused you of being.
Well, so he said that it's very easy to be against pedophilia in like a private message, and this was while we were doing the whole Gemini thing, and like I was at the forefront of like the Gemini situation.
Right.
And so like that to me is incredibly diminishing. So once I called him out for diminishing that situation, and like I didn't care that he didn't participate, but it's like you're gonna be like a dickhead about it. That's when he's like, oh, I didn't talk about it because I was like assaulted when I was younger. And it's like, you know, you've talked about a lot of assault stuff. So like that's a bullshit excuse. It's all of a sudden you get called out by me and it's like, oh, woe is me. And he does this thing where he like backhandedly talks about, I mean, he's like a coward. And I think that he's a clout chaser because he's even said, I think that I'm shadow banned. He thought he was shadow banned because he wasn't getting views, but it's because people are tired of him and the fucking vegan teacher. And like, he doesn't really care about real issues because this last thing he posted about how he came out of the closet and he's bisexual and that he was trying to talk about how there's a lot of issues around the world. He canceled another creator, the Alaskan Boy, because Alaskan Boy was talking about how like the religion of Islam targets gay people. And Joe Rogan's like, that's not nice because Islamic people are a minority in this country. It's like, in this country, yes, but in like in Islamic countries, like, or, you know, of like the 50 countries that are like, you know, Muslim centric.
Of course they're minorities, but that's not an excuse to negate what the LGBTQ community goes through in those communities.
Yeah, so like 45 out of the 50 of them are like
they live in fear. Like you come out of the closet and you're killed.
And to me, it's like, it's not true activism. Like Joe Rogan is like performative activism 100%. He doesn't care about real
I pointed it
issues.
out the other day because, you know, I found a video and it had been old, granted, but, you know, his followers were sharing it, his fan pages, and it came up on my For You page. And it was a goddamn video about man spreading. And he was like, and
The
I made a
major
video and
issue
I
with
was
man
like,
spreading.
you know, are you suggesting that men just sit like that just so women take up less space? Are you trying to compare a man's balls to a fucking accessory?
Yeah,
because you have like a
it's like virtue signaling 101. Man spreading is like a first world feminist issue. Like, you know, like there's real issues, and even in the United States with feminine, like with women not being equal, but like it's not man spreading. Like it's just asinine, honestly.
well, no, and you know, you should be speaking about, you know, like real issues. Like you know, I genuinely wonder. I wish I could just I wish he would have the balls to just talk to anybody face to face, because you know,
Yeah,
if he
no,
like
he
really
doesn't.
calls himself a feminist, like I want to know. You know, if he really knows about the incel community, if he knows what the redistribution of sexual resources is, if he knows like, you know, this, and this, you know, I wonder if he knows, you know, I didn't know this until
Well, he doesn't
like,
talk about real issues. Like he doesn't talk about like the
no, he
backlog
just,
of like hits in police departments or anything like that. He doesn't talk about any
no.
real issues. He talks about what's the girl from iCarly, the blonde Jenny whatever, that
Yeah.
she got photoshopped fatter. That's what he talks about. Like that's an issue to him, you know. And it's crazy because he has 4.5 million followers now, but like he's insubstantial. Like honestly, he's not going anywhere.
No.
And not to be a dickhead, but like he won't talk to anybody outside of his sphere. And he's just a coward.
Well, you know, he hides his comments, and that's the biggest.
Yeah.
As creators, like, and as a creator,
He blamed me for his mom getting doxxed too, because he says that he hides his comments because his mom got doxxed, and he blames me for it. And I don't even know how.
I've been doxxed. I had a girl standing outside, Journey Ginger for anyone listening, standing in my alley, recording up into my house. Yeah, trying to get evidence that I was back with my ex-boyfriend.
That's nuts.
Like I've had my condo number leaked when I have like a very violent man that would love to kill me that lives in my city. My freaking car, both my car license plates. Like,
that's
give
nuts.
me a fucking break. As creators, like, you know, it's not right. Like, I didn't sign my name up to get leaked. I didn't, you know, sign my name up to have my safety and my kids' safety put at risk. But like, you know, I know that like at times where I have sounded arrogant, misogynistic at times, like I've grown a lot. My message has grown, and that's because of criticism. That's because I've allowed, and even my hate comments as well have allowed me to be like, oh shit, I really, you know, Jerome's never going to be able to grow because he doesn't allow people to.
Well, also hiding your comments doesn't stop people from trying to dox you. Like it, like I don't even understand the logic there with him. People could just get together and try to dox him if they really wanted to. It's all a bullshit excuse because he's a very fragile person. Like he can't stand criticism, and he has like the, you know, he has he has like the TikTok LGBT and woman community, like the toxic aspect of it, to like defend him in anything he does. Like there's no accountability for Joe Rogan because he has like 18 positive comments about coming out about his sexual assault. But like if anybody saw like the real shit going on, they would disown him instantly.
This might be bold to say, but I you know, I keep trying to think about why. First of all, you know, call it subliminal or not, but like it almost makes me want to cry. It actually makes me emotional. The fact that, you know, I know that this girl specifically stated she didn't want her name out there.
Mm-hmm. But then Joe Rogan put it out there.
And the fact that Jerome specifically, and people are trying to fucking argue and be like, well, the victim didn't want it. He fucking tagged her name. I never would have known who she was because almost everybody was respecting her confidentiality. I never would have known who she was if it weren't for his fucking video. So not only does he not condemn his fucking friend, doesn't even say his name, I couldn't even comprehend his fucking video because I feel like I would have had to have like really
it was the
content.
whole video he made was him basically using her trauma as like a shield for himself.
That's absolutely disgusting. So, you know, call it subliminal or not, but, you know, I have a feeling, I don't know if he's necessarily, like, I just keep trying to think of, like, why you would be a male feminist and not, like, publicly condemn your good friend who is doing the same thing.
I mean, if we wanted to get,
your own message.
If we wanted to get conspiracy in.
Do you wonder if, like, I almost wonder if he's waiting for it to come out where, like, maybe it
Well,
wasn't
they're all
true, or
friends.
like,
It's a friend group. So like the
so
three of them
what
are.
the fuck is he? Why would he
I
out her
think.
fucking name and not?
Well, because he's a coward, so he's hiding behind her trauma. But the reason he's not calling him out, I think, is because Joe Rogan is like secretly in love with that kid Calvin.
No, but that's like some spiteful. Like I don't want to say misogynistic, but you know what? Women are so often, you know, it's like it's culture. Women are
Hmm.
so often the targets of, like, you know, when they're sexually assaulted, what they were wearing. It's like this idea that men are like entitled to sex and women are morally obligated to give it. There is still this ownership over women's bodies. And for me, it's incredibly subliminal,
Hmm.
the fact that he would not only address his friend, not only, which is culture, which is a huge part of
I
like
would
what
actually
fucks
add
with
to that.
women.
I would add to it as well because I think part of that culture is like your
But he
friends
outed
not.
her
Well,
instead.
yeah, but part of that culture is your friends not like your friends going easy on you when you do something like that, and that's like
Yeah.
the part that really gets me for Joe Rogan because like he's
He
not
put the
nothing. He
attention on
didn't.
the victim when the
Yeah,
attention should have been on the person who did it.
and
And
his.
to
Did you see his
me,
apology? Did you see
I
Did you see
couldn't.
Calvin's
He
apology?
fucking advertised his shoes.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
swear.
yeah, yeah. It was horrible. And what's funny is he made that video and then he removed his TikTok. He deleted it. But like I had it, so I had to go through my stream to like relook at it again.
Listen, I'm not, you know, I'm really, you know, they say that like you're like the friends that you're. I just remember hearing that a lot as a teenager. You know, your friends are your future, Chloe. Your friends are your future. Be careful who you hang out with because your friends are your future. You know, essentially meaning like, you know, the people that you're around, you will end up being around. And so, you know, it's just incredibly disturbing to me that one, that was a good friend of his. Two, he probably knew about this long before any of us did.
And he
Still
didn't
never
stop
spoke about this
associating
guy.
himself with them. That's the biggest issue. That's
Bro,
like a you
no,
know that you think he would be privately disgusted, but like he's not even publicly. You know what I mean? Like he's not even privately disgusted. He left them up
I
on
knew
there.
that he
It
was
doesn't make
fucked
sense.
up, but it just concerns me
Yeah.
for the women that follow him, because I don't want them like, you know, if anything, it would be, if he wants to be a selfish prick, which he is, if you want to look at it in a selfish way, if anything, it would be in his fucking favor to condemn his friend. Because if anything, people are going to be looking and be like, well, this male fucking feminist ended up being this. Are you? If anything, he should be saying, fuck this guy. I'm not like that. You can trust male feminists. And he's not.
No, he's not.
Instead, he put the
He's
attention on the victim who
yeah.
specifically asked not to,
And then he
would
called
not
out
condemn
other
his
people
friend.
for joking about the situation. You know, because like the only people, like you know, Nick Foster in his own way is trying to call to light. You know what I mean? Like it's his own way, and like yeah, it's jokes,
Yeah.
but like he's actually talking
I
about
love
it.
it.
Nobody else is talking about it. You know, so I mean, it's just crazy. And the whole thing happened when I was like on a vacation, so I couldn't get to it yet. And then I have a video on YouTube that like goes through the whole scenario. But it's crazy, and like Joe Rogan has a huge platform, and like he's the only one where it would matter if he said something.
He has a responsibility, and that's what I was saying to these girls that are like, you know, everyone copes in a different way. And you know, first of all, he had no problems talking to freaking you know, talking about Nick's jokes and condemning people that joke about it, but fuck condemning people that actually do
Yeah,
it.
no, it's he
You know,
doesn't.
he
He's
has.
quiet. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's a coward. So like, really, when it comes down to it, he's not like really any. He's not a real activist. He's just like a TikTok performative activist who wants to say what he knows is going to get him attention, and he's going to be happy with that. And like, honestly, the thing is that like he, like no, like he has a lot of followers, but like it doesn't mean anything. Like nobody wants to like consume him outside of TikTok for like a little couple of seconds, or to be like, oh, I feel bad for you, Joe. Like people pity Joe Rogan and they think he has okay takes, but there's nothing to it. So like, I don't know what he wants to do. I know he wants to get off TikTok and do more shit, but like nobody's gonna take him seriously on like YouTube. But like, what do you like? You need to have conversations.
Well, even not even about that. I mean, even if you look at like, you know, like my movement, and not to like brag or try to be like, oh, you know, this or that, but you know, I have like, you know, Roma Army is going to have a nonprofit that's by the time I'm 30, that's
Oh,
going
that's
to
cool.
support dads who have just left, who have just separated. It's going to support them with housing, shit like that. Like there's, oh my God, I can't even, like, I could like literally go into it. I'm going to tour, I'm going to speak, I'm going to like, you know, build awareness to all these different things. Like, that's a real advocate. And so when I look at Jerobe, I see somebody that's literally just looking for a platform. But what are you really going to do with that? What are you going to do to help these women? Are you going to take that to the streets? Are you going to actually advocate and push for, like, even myself, like in my community, I really like learned the other day, because I had like a pretty fucked up run-in with like a straight up incel community.
Mhm.
And I realized, if I don't like call this out and like show guys like, hey, by the way, these are these really fucked up views towards women, like that is my responsibility. Should have been doing that the whole time. And I was like, if I do have a following that's like, no, fuck women's problems, I don't want to hear about it, I was straight up gonna quit. I was gonna be like, I don't want to do it. But the guys were so receptive and were like, I do want to learn about this. I didn't know about this. And like, you know what I mean? I was really proud of that. And I think that if Jerobe would like just be fucking genuine and actually like want to make a difference in the world, I think he
Well, I
really
don't think
could.
he wants to.
But I think he's a predator.
I don't think he's a predator. I just think that he's. I don't think so. I think he's just a coward. I think he's a 27-year-old man hanging out with 19-year-old
kids.
Different
forms of predators. I think when we think of predators, because it is such a strong
word.
Well,
what kind of predator do you think he is? Because I think he's just a coward that's looking for like fame. I think that he's just like a Trisha Paytas, but like a PG.
So I think that Jerobe is, first of all, I went on his Instagram months ago, so I haven't been on since, and it was before my accident, granted. But I'm pretty sure I remember, because I remember commenting on it. I remember him having posts that were like, like something about like not having a girlfriend, things like that. You seem to know a lot about Jerobe. Have you seen
What's that?
posts
Joe Robe saying he didn't have a girlfriend? Is that what it was?
On Instagram,
You seem to know a lot about Jerobe.
Things like that. Do you say things like that on his Instagram?
I don't know. I don't really look at his Instagram, honestly. Like
okay, well, I'll double check that. But I think, I think when we think of predators, I think it is such a strong word, and I think.
Well, what kind of predator do you think he is? Because as much as I hate the guy, I want to make sure I'm not trying to slander him.
I don't think that he's so much as like maybe not a sexual predator.
Yeah, I don't think he's a sexual predator at all.
I think what he does is I think that he makes these videos in hopes to make himself appeal better to women. I think that I could see him, like, I just imagine Joe
probably
at like a bar or something. You know what I mean?
You think that he's? I don't think he does it to hit on girls. Like, I think I know what you're talking about.
I think so.
I don't think that. I think he just likes the positive attention
and them to trust him.
And I think that he's actually. He said he's bisexual. I think he's probably leaning more towards like being gay, which is no problem. But I think that he's just looking for. I really just think that he's looking for positive attention, and I don't think that he's likes
trying to get a
men.
distraction.
I don't know. I don't think he's a predatory. I think that he's just a cloud chaser and very ingenuine, and he's like a coward. But
don't you think that that's almost like that's like preying on people? You know what I mean? If those aren't genuinely, if those aren't genuinely his views, it is.
No, I think those are genuinely his views. I just think that he's warping himself to like keep up with what's working for him. So like once all the
but if he doesn't condemn that guy, are they genuinely his views though?
Well, his genuine views are bullshit, right? So like you look on his TikTok and what's on there, like it's not really calling out sexual assault. It's calling out TikToks that are slightly uncomfortable. Like I don't think he really necessarily cares about sexual assault. He might, but he doesn't really fight for it. I think he's a coward, and what I really think is the reason why he isn't calling out like predatory behavior is because it's not good for your TikTok. Because everybody who called out Gemini got like muted and censored over and over again. I got a bunch of videos taken down. Mr. Bruno got videos taken down.
I made a video the other day. I made a couple of them basically stating that like, it's TikTok that we need to look at. It's not ethical to try to hold children responsible. First of all, they're fucking horny teenagers. I wanted to fuck all the time as a teenager. I'm sure you wanted to fuck all the time as a teenager.
Sure,
they're teenagers.
probably.
There's a reason why we don't hold them.
Well, yeah, did you see his video about how he railed into some kid because the kid's like, hey, when anybody else in middle school like wish that they could freeze time and like look at up girls' skirts or something, and it's like, yeah, like you're a horny teenager, and then Jorah was like, this is disgusting, and it's like, yeah, but you know what's more disgusting? Calvin. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like when it comes down to it, and I don't know if you know this, but like it's like it might be like inconsequential, but there was a post where Calvin said he was making an OnlyFans, and Jorah was like, ooh, best $10 I've ever spent. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, so I think he's like kind of in love with Calvin. I think that Joe Robe was bullied in high school, and he was seen as like the loser, and Calvin is like the big boy jock, and like Joe Robe loved getting attention from him.
Yeah, he probably resembled a lot of his bullies.
And he finally got that validation from Calvin, and now that Calvin did something wrong, he doesn't want to.
Feel sorry for the dude. You gotta stop. I'm starting to feel sorry for Jerome. The day that happened,
I still don't feel sorry for him. I think he's a coward, but we could get off Jerome. I'm fine with that because I don't like talking about the guy per se. Like honestly, he's just so easy to talk about, I guess. But I don't like him. Like he really like after this whole thing, I lost like all respect for him. So
yeah, well, I hope that people at least see through it, or at least he learns. You know, I would never hope to cancel somebody or have someone lose their platform. I would only just hope that they could learn and grow.
He's throwing away his own platform because like the amount of the mental distress that he got from like just getting called out by me like kept him off the app for a week and a half. So like he's got nothing. Like he's got no longevity here. He's gonna be drunk in a bar 20 years from now, talking about how he used to be TikTok famous. Like that's, I know that's mean, but that's Joe Rogan, honestly. Like he's like inconsequential. Like it's whatever.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's almost true. Yeah.
So you said you had a new boyfriend. You said he was a little younger. So no, I mean I don't even know how old you are. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh really? Why did I think you were older than that?
It's just because I'm smart. That's it.
That must be it. It's probably the tattoos or something. Because I'm 30. I thought you were like 29. I don't know why, but not like you don't like. It's just the tattoos and stuff. It's not. I'm not trying to insult you. I don't mean like you're not. It's not that. It just you give off like an older vibe, not in a bad way. Oh, okay. Because when I heard he was 22, I was like, oh, okay. Like it was not inappropriate. I mean, I thought you were a little older. So, but that's good then. Oh, okay. Well, then good for you. Good for you.
We went to school together.
Ah, okay. Well, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah. No, he's a nice guy. He's really respectful, really nice, and him and I are gonna start kind of like a side business together that I'm really excited about.
That's cool. What is it gonna be? Or you can't talk about it? Is it illegal?
Music, like just music orientated. So yeah, that's like kind of all that I can talk about like for now while
fine.
Shit's getting like drawn out. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. Things have been going good. I just don't like that winter's here again, so it's like I can't. The summer was shit. So hopefully I can tour next summer and really
that'd be
just
cool.
go with people. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I'm nervous to come to the U.S. though. You guys are like everybody and their dogs has a gun under their waist.
Oh,
even
that's
the
not
law
true.
enforcement in Canada isn't allowed to conceal. Like, there's no such thing as concealed carry here.
Well, we don't have. Oh, you mean like the law enforcement? Yeah. Well, our law enforcement doesn't conceal carry. They just fucking walk around with like shotguns in the trunks and the cars. And we got like a militarized police force. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
they're good. Speaking of Canadian bacon. I need to ship you some actual Canadian bacon because I've heard.
What is that? Like, oh, you mean like the circle? Like a circle bacon?
Stop it.
That's what it is. That's what Canadian bacon is. No.
Hey, I had an American friend the other day that told me that that's ham, Papa Gut.
That's Canadian bacon is circular bacon. That's what I was always told. So what is actual Canadian bacon? Let's look this up.
It's bacon. That's Canadian pigs. So
what's the difference? What's the difference? Look, I look it up.
I'm gonna send you some maple bacon, and it's gonna be the best thing you've ever sent.
I look it up right here, and it's just bacon. That's circular. That's all. In the United States, Canadian bacon is circular bacon.
What are you looking at? Oh my god.
Walmart.
Okay, go Google.ca Canada. Google.ca, not .com. Try Google.ca.
Okay, Google.
.ca, yeah, that's Canada.
Jeez, that's weird. Okay, all right. So, I'll just look up bacon. How's that?
Yeah.
It just looks like bacon.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, exactly. So why do you call Canadian bacon like these circles? That's ham. Can you show me is there any way for you to show me what the circular?
Are you looking at you're not looking at my stream right now, right? I don't think I can because if you close it on your phone, it'll probably. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can show you. Okay, so you want me to show you Canadian bacon from America?
Or just send me a picture of it.
Here's what we'll do, because I know you're on your thing. Let me see if I can do this, if I'm fucking smart enough to do this. Okay, here we go. So can you see this third thing now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see. So
we're about to see all of Papa Gut's porn searches. Can you twerk?
Is that what it said?
What was that? Yeah, it said can you twerk?
I mean, I wouldn't look that up because I can't twerk. This is Canadian bacon. Right?
That's fucking ham.
That's Canadian. This is Canadian bacon right here.
That's ham.
Oh, wait.
If there's any Canadians watching,
Yeah, this is it. There's no way. America's never wrong.
That's what we call ham. What do you guys call ham?
Well, here's what we call ham. This is ham. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same thing, but bigger. But it's bigger. That's the thing. So
that is, I don't even know.
You know what's funny? Nobody can even see what I'm looking at in like my stream, because it just looks like, it just says like, oh, looking. Here you go, guys. This is what I was talking about. So yeah.
What I'm gonna do?
We call ham.
I'm gonna get a package.
All right. Well, make sure it stays clean, because I don't want to like.
Well, you have to. Yeah, I know you send it in like when you open it, it'll be this like, it's like dry ice or not dry ice. It's like something that preserves it. I don't know what it's called, but it's cool.
Okay. Well, you don't have to.
And then you have to do
a ham review
reaction video to real Canadian bacon.
You want me to do a ham review? Is that what you're asking me to do?
It's not ham.
It's a ham. It's ham. Yeah. All right. If you really want to, I have a PO box, but you really don't have to send me bacon if you don't want to.
No, I want you to try Canadian bacon.
All right, I'll try real Canadian bacon.
You guys have like candy bacon, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I guess. I don't know. I eat turkey bacon. So, yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, we have turkey bacon.
Yeah, see, what does it look like? Does it look like a circular turkey?
No, it looks like bacon.
Oh, that's funny.
Because here in Canada, we make sense.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Are you guys still not allowed to have Kinder eggs?
No, we have them. I think that they got around the like weird thing with the concealed like treat or whatever inside by like putting an outer rim on it, so it's not technically outside the chocolate. Very bizarre. But yeah, we have Kinder eggs now. So, you know, we had a very heavy ban on Kinder eggs, but we have pretty unrestricted guns. So how do you like that? We're afraid of those. We're afraid of those kids choking, but
we had Canada a couple months ago. We had our first like school mass shooting in like a long time.
Oh, really?
It was a school shooting. And the gun that was used was like one that was legal in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a semi-automatic or something. I can't remember what type, because you know I'm Canadian. I don't know too much about guns. I just shoot 30-06s and 10-22s. That's it. So I don't know too much. But I know that Canada banned like the type of gun the kid used essentially. So essentially Canada, we don't have any guns that like are anywhere close to like what our police or military would have.
That's crazy.
Makes sense. But
it makes sense, but you know what? You got to make sure you got to make sure that you can fight against a tyrannical government.
Well, exactly. You know? And you know, we Canadians, I think a lot of us laugh at America, and I did too, until I like really kind of researched like why you guys have it that way. And I respect it, because you know, as Canadians, you know, if our fucking military decided to tell us to go fuck ourselves, what are we gonna do? We're gonna all turn to the hillbillies and be like, yo, it's gonna be Alberta. My province is gonna be like the only province that's just like loaded, because we just got a bunch of like rednecks up here.
Well, at least you guys have some rednecks to protect you.
I'm in the Texas of Canada, but the U.S., you know, if civilians, if the U.S. population decided to overthrow the military, half the military would walk out overnight. Like there's just no point.
Maybe you might be right. That's possible.
Yeah, but it's Canada, you know, it's much easier to tell us to go fuck ourselves. So I respect why you guys have that. But, you know, it kind of makes me chuckle when you guys have harsher regulations on fucking Kinder eggs than you do guns.
It's true. My chat is going ballistic. For some reason, they want you to open and close your microwave. They said the sound is nice. I don't know why. I figured I'd ask. You're going.
What?
I don't know. They just stay. You're going.
You're muted here. You're running over here.
I don't know.
Ready?
Yeah. It wasn't that satisfying, guys.
Have they previously like been in my lives? Have they heard me open my live?
It's possible. I think we have like overlap. We have community overlap, so it's possible that they were.
No, I noticed. I keep trying to freaking pass you on TikTok, but every time you got 1.3, I got 1.3.
Oh yeah,
I got 1.4, you got 1.4.
I don't even care about followers anymore. TikTok is like kind of dead to me, honestly. I really don't. Like, you know, they did a really big algorithm shift when they got the advertisers. And so, like, political, social TikTok is kind of dead. And now it's still, like, dumb jokes and memes and head bobbing and song. Because they went towards songs and dances. And like it's just like it's boring now, you know. And then I got banned. I got like a bunch of restrictions for like trying to post about Gemini. So like, you know, I'm shit out of luck. So I'm really just focusing on my Twitch career now and my YouTube career.
Is it good? How many followers do you have on YouTube?
104,000.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
so we're getting up there on that, and then like Twitch is doing well. I'm making a living on Twitch and YouTube right now, so that's good for me.
Yeah, you know, I kind of laugh because, you know, there are some people that try to, I don't know why people assume that I make like a lot of money advocating for men's rights. I mean, technically, had I monetized my YouTube, I could have.
Yeah, why didn't you? Why didn't you monetize your YouTube? What the hell's wrong with you?
Because I didn't think about it. Because I don't do this for money. I never thought about it.
You don't do it for money? What do you mean?
On the 4th.
Did you?
I never thought about it. I never thought to monetize my YouTube. So I only just monetized on the 4th.
Well, how big's your YouTube? What you got on your YouTube? Like 4 million?
319.
See, you're yeah. So what are you doing? You could probably do some YouTube videos and talk about stuff.
Yeah, no, my YouTube's really good. I never monetized it. I only just monetized it. And, you know, before I went into the hospital, I swear I only had like 25,000 followers. Like last time I checked my YouTube, I only had like 25,000 followers. And then something must have happened. And I got all the way up to like 300. When I came out of the hospital, it was like 300,000. I was like, holy.
Maybe you should make some content on there. Yeah, maybe you should get onto that.
I post almost daily, but
really, what's your YouTube? Let's take a look at it.
It's Roma Army.
Oh, I guess I should have expected that, huh?
Yeah. So, you know, I had this.
Let's see. Roma Army.
Community.
Wow.
I had this like guy, basically who, you know, never outwardly claims to be a men's rights advocate, but his whole page is about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
you don't want to tell us who it is?
Oh, his name is.
Is he a bad guy or a good guy? We gotta know.
Oh, he's garbage. It's Think Before You Sleep. So he's an incel. So I don't know if you've seen my Instagram.
What is he on? Is he on TikTok or Instagram
YouTube,
or whatever YouTube? Okay.
So if the second video, you know, Roma responds to incel community.
Okay.
Never in my entire career had like likes to dislikes that close, and it really just showed me that
it's crazy.
Incels are fucking real. So this guy, you know, made statements like, first of all, said, you know, I've got a bunch of tattoos, can't trust me. If I had a dainty little flower on my ankle, he was a misogynist and a sexist.
What was his name again?
His name is Think Before You Sleep. He makes, you know, he said, I put it on my Instagram. He goes, Chloe is a single mother because she chose to have a child with a man that was too abusive for her kid to be around. So he, you know, spends the whole video blaming me. You know, he even went as far as to use my sexual abuse as like evidence as to why you shouldn't trust me. You know, claims that because I left that man that, you know, that's me abusing my daughter. He's a misogynist. You know, he said, you know, men should never pay child support. And
is that what he says? In that video he said that?
Yes, he said even in a situation where, because I said like I agree with child support in certain situations, not all of them, like 50-50 custody, for example, no. But like if you get a girl pregnant, beat her fucking ass and leave. She is all entitled to that. She's a single mom now, has got to work, has to make that meet. And he goes, I was taught as a child that two wrongs don't make a right. So this guy equated that beating your fucking wife and leaving her is like just as bad as going after child support. And he was like, you know, just put him in jail if he's a bad guy. Well, you know, the father of my kid almost killed me, and the trial just ended 2 years later, and he got like a community sentencing. He didn't go to jail.
That's crazy.
So like, yeah. So, you know, it made me really angry. All of his content is very much, you know, like blaming women. You know, essentially, I'll
have to take a look at his stuff. Is he like a prominent YouTube figure, or is it like
no? He's only got 100,000, but it was important to me to call it out because my following.
Hey, listen! I only have 100,000. All right, don't go too hard on me. All right.
Well, people know who you are, though. Nobody knows who this guy is. That's like, you know, you have like 1.4 on TikTok. Like, you're known, right? This guy isn't known. He just has like 100,000 just there. So like nobody really knows who this guy is. But so many people, even in my community, were like, yo, I never noticed that about her. Thanks for pointing it out. And so his whole argument was the assumption I'd never been to therapy. And when I responded, what terrified me is he made a YouTube post on YouTube. And in the very first sentence, like one of the first sentences he said, I just want to make it clear that I would never tell my audience to evoke violence against Roma. And then he goes,
and then he just
"Don't."
continued to be like a toxic dickhead.
No, and then he goes, "Don't mass dislike her videos, don't leave hate comments." And of course they did that. So in my mind, I'm
so
like,
that was like his whole thing was like, hey guys, like he was hiding it.
never,
Like, hey, go do
ever
this.
had to even think to tell the Roma army, by the way, don't commit violence against someone I've caught out. Like, you know that you have an incel community when you need to remind your community not to emit any violence towards somebody that you call out. Like, it was just, you know, it is very much like incel views, which is, you know, women are, you know, responsible for what happens to them. You know, they're basically there to like fucking serve men, essentially. Like, this guy, you should really watch the video he did on me. And I would be really interested.
I'll take a look at. I'll probably take a look at it on stream either tomorrow or something like.
Yeah, well, let me know. I'll come join it because I'd really like to see your input on it. Because, you know, the amount of people that agreed with him was terrifying, and so, you know, I completely switched my content, and I was like, you know, it's important for me to make sure that none of these guys that believe that like a woman is somehow responsible or at fault for getting abused. He said, he goes, "Chloe's not a real men's rights advocate because she made a video trying to tell men how to like wean out bad single moms, the ones that are just trying to use you for money." And he said, when the real answer is no single mother is a good single mother.
Oh,
and
really?
He goes,
that's shitty.
Yeah. He goes, unless her husband has died, what a single mother is telling you is that she does not. It's on my Instagram. I would suggest you go look at it.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
So yeah,
this is juicy.
Yeah, so he
Chloe,
goes, yeah,
right?
That's what he said. He's like, Chloe's a single mother.
What's your fucking Instagram now? Now I'm just
Roma
curious.
Army official.
Now you're getting me into all this drama here.
I have on my screen too.
I
really want you to see it.
It's
just a little sample.
I asked you what your Instagram was, but like I'm literally talking to you on Instagram. Like, what the hell's the matter with me? Like, we were just DMing like an hour ago.
Yeah, it's Roma Army official. Yeah, so if you go down a little bit.
All right, what do you got here? All right, let's see. My fans aren't gonna be able to see it, but I'm curious. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. I'll just put this like here, this way. Oh shit! Did you disappear? There we go. All right, so let's see what we got here. I had to
go down. I'll show you the post.
All right, how far down are we going here?
Wait, go up a little bit. We missed it.
This one?
Nope. Go up. Up. That one. Yeah.
This one.
Down. Nope. Right below that.
This one.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. You want me to play it?
Yeah. Hear
How
that
long?
audio.
2 minutes. Holy shit. You're gonna what? You're gonna go. Okay.
Yeah. So you can skip over me talking because I'm just responding, but he comes in twice saying some disgusting things, and it starts here.
All right. She's plugging her Instagram in here, guys. I guess we're gonna get some of this drama going. Let's see.
She would see that.
Let's see. Let's make sure the audio is good.
She has done some horrible things to her daughter. The reason Chloe is a single mother is because she chose to have a child with a man who was so abusive that he almost killed her. Because of that, her daughter cannot have a relationship with her father. Chloe chose to have a kid.
What are you doing, makeup to the audio?
In an extremely unstable environment. And the lack of a father is going to create all kinds of boundaries problems for her child when she grows up. Women's primary
Jesus, this is bad. Like, I thought, like, you know, this is pretty bad.
Job is to help the emotional development in children, while men's primary job is to help create boundaries. You need both influences, or you will require years of therapy just to turn out normal.
I'm sorry, what?
Jesus.
What?
Is this the one you're asking me to take a look at, by the way? The video?
Yes, now skip through that video.
All right.
Response and hear what he comes back to say.
Is that when you're doing makeup again?
Well, that's him using my video, so I'm screen recording.
Oh, I got you.
Hold
on, is this his video of you? Like, is this the one you told me about that I should check out?
This is the one that you will be watching. This is just
I will be.
what the whole video is about.
All right.
Not to mention that if Chloe doesn't realize that she chose to have a child with an abuser, she will bring other abusers around her kid, as well as sabotage relationships with healthy people.
Jesus.
If she's with a nice guy right now,
I can't believe people consume this guy. This isn't good.
And doesn't learn how to contain her behavior, then
do you want me to keep watching? There's like 2 seconds left.
She will find ways to destroy that seconds.
Yeah, that was rough. What the hell's the matter with this guy?
I just want to point out what he said there, really, for people that like might not have like understood it. What he said at the beginning was essentially I am abusing my daughter because I don't have both parents in the household. She's not going to have what she needs, blah, blah, blah. Pardon me, but what are you saying for same-sex parents?
Well,
Are you
what
saying that they are abusing their child?
he would
because they don't have
he probably would say that. Yeah, I think that he.
Yeah, no, but he said no single mothers are good because if she's a single mother, she's stating that she doesn't know how to, oh, and then he said, as an example as to why I was, single mothers shouldn't be dated is because they could, and this is his words, because they could have an abusive ex-boyfriend, and that's not good for men.
Well, my thing that got me was that like the abusive person in his words, the abusive person you chose to have a kid with, like it's your fault that like he's abusive.
He has this assumption that he was just beating my ass day one, and I was like, yep, I like this.
Yeah,
this
no, I don't. There's no accountability for the guy who was abusive. It's bizarre.
And that's the incel views is it's this perception that like as women we are somehow responsible for the abuse that happens to us, and like hell fucking no. I did the right thing by leaving. If anything, that shows that I am a smart woman. I am a good mother.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if he's abusing you, he's going to abuse the kid, I would assume.
Well, and I left him, literally the first time that he hit me after she was born. It was the first time she was 3 weeks old. So I was fleeing when like most women aren't even out of bed. It was the first time that he attacked me when she was born. And I was like, hell no. I didn't stay for a second. I was like, hell no, I'm out. So, and it's just this, he just perpetuates a lot of really disgusting views on, like mental health and, don't date a girl that has any, mental health and this, and this. He really just like paints this picture of like this like 60s life where women are supposed to obey the men. Did you hear? It's the mother's job to nurture and it's the father's
and like
to set boundaries. As if it's the woman's to like, okay, and it's the man's to be like,
yeah, no. Well, that goes back to the idea that like men's sole job is to make money and women's sole job is to take care of kids. And like, listen, some people, yeah. Some people like that dynamic, and I'd say women are generally more like feminine, obviously, and men are more masculine. But like things are changing constantly. It's not. It's up to the relationship. But also, he didn't even just say that. He said that the relationship that it's a male's job to set boundaries. So like. That is really toxic because boundaries are literally an entire relationship. So he's saying that it's men's job to own the relationship and it's a woman's job to deal with it. That's what he's actually saying by saying that, which is bizarre. Yeah. Everybody sets boundaries. And if you're comfortable with the boundary of like a traditional like household where the woman takes care of the kids and the man works, that's fine. But like men don't set the boundaries. Like people in the relationship set the boundaries.
Yeah,
that'll be fun to go through.
It was really, and it's so funny because ever since, like 2016, when there was really that crackdown on incel communities, when they really did start to like go out and shoot women and like things like this, there was such a crackdown and it would be, I was kind of chuckling because if somebody came to me and was like, well, what's an incel community? I would send them directly to that guy's page. Like if you go look at the comments even.
Maybe you got him popular then. Maybe you got him popular.
No, it didn't grow too much, actually. It was like already had like 100,000 views when I seen it. Right. So, just the amount of people, it was like over 10,000 people that agreed with just these disgusting views. And if you read the comments, some of them are my followers that are like, oh my God, I never realized this. And I'm like, realize what? Like, what do you mean? He knew so fucked up.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's bizarre that kind of a person's still on the app. Like, it's actually, or that still has like some form of a platform. I find it very bizarre.
Well, there were, like I said, you should look at the likes to dislikes ratio and like the comments.
Well, I saw your like to dislike ratio was hot. It was rough. Like
I've never in my entire career, and that was me basically responding, pointing out sexism, pointing out, that you can't, you can't blame women for these things, and that got it to 50-50. So, and then that's when I was basically like, yo, if this is how like a good chunk of the men in this movement believe, then we're either fixing this or I fucking quit. And I think what ended up happening is I think that guy really made that post and was like, don't go spam dislike her video. And I think that's kind of what happened. Because I made a video after that, like kind of exposing what incels are, just to clarify like what this is, the history. And even though there were a lot of dislikes, which is still the most I've ever had on a video.
Yeah, I have to take a look at his video. From what I've seen, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, any man that has respect for women can look at that and be like, wow, that's fucked up. But you know, if anybody were to be like,
It's
what's an
interesting.
incel community?
Yeah,
I'd be like,
it's interesting because you have a comment here. It's like, why can't she take criticism in a mature way? And like, listen, I don't know how you responded. Like, you sometimes you have a rough time responding, but like, it does.
I responded really, really well.
Did
you?
you?
Watch it.
Well,
I was very
because
calm.
my thing is like he doesn't like it wasn't criticism. Like it was toxic. Like he wasn't even criticizing.
Yeah.
Like,
but, you know, even if you look at my video, I didn't once because, and I did it on purpose. There were moments where I really wanted to like just yell at him, yell at the video. But, you know, as somebody I knew that was sexist and misogynistic, I was like, this guy's going to expect me to be emotional, be this, this, and this. And so I was literally the exact opposite.
This guy called you, this guy said that you've become what you swore to destroy and you're a feminist and they unsubbed from you.
Okay, well, that's good.
These people are really something, man. This is toxic. It's so hard to say something that like doesn't align with what you usually talk about without getting so much hate. Like people are so very narrow-minded.
What's funny though is so many guys actually are eager to hear about it, and you know, people like that don't really want equality because, you know, what's the number one thing that we call out about feminist movements all the time? It's that they don't call out the toxic parts of their movement. They don't call out the women in their movement that are saying sexist things, doing sexist things. So if I, as a men's rights advocate, didn't call out the toxic men in my community, didn't call out the toxic actions that men are doing, then like I would be a fucking hypocrite. So sorry, like I've spent the last 10 months eating, sleeping, shitting, and breathing men's rights. If you can't handle the fact that like a couple videos are gonna be like, yo, don't treat women this way, then fucking leave.
There's no way he watched the whole thing. Like these people, there's no way they watched the whole thing and like responded, which happens all the time. People will say that they watched it and then they don't actually watch it. It's like very
it was long. There's no way that some of these people, you know, there's just no way that any like normal human being can watch his video and be like, yes, this is right. These views on women are correct.
Yeah.
Because you know,
I'll watch it like tomorrow or the next day. Like I'll make sure I watch his, especially. I will probably. Well, I do like 1 p.m. EST, so I still have to talk about Tony Lopez again because my video is like unintelligible because I was lagging really bad on my stream. I don't know if you know what's going on with Tony Lopez. It's I don't know. He was talking to like girls who were underage, but like he didn't know their age, and everybody wants me to cancel him. But from what I've seen, he's an idiot for not asking age. But first of all, he's 20, and second of all, none of them ever told him their age. It's weird. So people are like, yeah, cancel him. He's as bad as Gemini. It's like Gemini was like a legit like manipulative predator who like victim blamed. Tony's like a dumb kid.
Can I ask a question? And if you don't want to discuss it on your stream, like I totally respect that. Just about the, you know, Jerome and like his buddy situation.
Oh, okay, sure.
Am I like, not to like, you know, this is like a woman's story and I don't want to like exploit it or anything like that, but I'm under the impression that she was at a party, she was drunk, she asked him to drive her home. I don't really know
my understanding of the situation is like I think she was drunk. I don't know if he was, but he kept inserting himself in her and she kept saying stop and no, and he did it 3 times.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what my understanding of it is that I have like the video of her saying that. And yeah. So I'm not going to show it.
Why is he accused of rape?
Well, that's what it would be. Like he put his penis in her when she said no. Yeah, inserting himself in her, like he inserted himself in her.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah.
Asserted himself to her, like.
Oh no, like inserted himself in her. Yeah. That's from the video that I've seen. Apparently, he did it 3 times, and like I don't know if he was drunk or not, but like she said no, and Calvin didn't contest that, so I imagine it's true. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Sorry for somebody. You want to buy my buddy's shoes?
Yeah, no, it's gross. So
what is he doing now? He's just gonna hide for the rest of his life?
I think he walks away clean because nobody called him out for it. Honestly, well,
I would encourage her to go.
Things
she's wanting to do.
I don't know. Like I didn't reach out to her, press her, or anything. Like I'm not trying to like invade her space, you know. Right. So she's gonna handle it however she can, and like honestly, probably nothing's gonna happen. You know, because like even in his apology, he was like, "Oh, thank you so much, Aaron. You're the coolest for letting me grow." And it's like, that's not an apology. You know,
Yeah, you know, I kind of like,
yeah, he's a scumbag.
I remember being a bit younger. I was like 20, and there was a young man, there was this girl that I was friends with. I shouldn't have been friends with her. Not that it's my fault, but whenever, like, I'm bisexual.
Mm,
However, I've struggled with my bisexuality because I've felt kind of like used by straight girls in my life. So they'll, you know, want to, you know, interact with me. And then, you know, in the morning, they're like, yo, by the way, I'm straight. And I'm like, I feel like I just your sexuality. That's not right. Like,
mm,
you know what I mean? I've really struggled with that. And this girl, Mara, she was definitely one of those that were like, you know, she was straight, but whenever she was drinking, she wasn't. And so,
right.
you know, there's
Okay.
multiple reasons why it's not appropriate to engage with a girl who's intoxicated, but especially one who's only bisexual when she's intoxicated.
Mm,
So, you know, she had a friend over, and him and I hadn't engaged much in the day, but she was really drunk. And when she would be drinking, she would try to like borderline like sexual assault me, actually, if I really think
mm,
about it. I'm really inappropriate. And so I told her, you know, she couldn't sleep in my bed. She had to sleep on the couch, and her friend had to sleep in my bed. And I remember saying to him, like, don't fucking snuggle me, as if like, yo, don't touch me. We hadn't flirted. I was fully clothed when we went to bed. We didn't go to bed snuggling, nothing. And I
mm,
woke up in the middle of the night with him like touching me and touching himself. And so I freaked out on him, started
mm.
screaming at him, and I kicked him out of my house. And sitting and thinking about it later in the day, I really thought about like this kid's face while I was screaming at him. And like something in his face just told me like that he didn't, and I'm not equating this to like Buddy. I'm just simply sharing a story. But
Hmm.
like something in his face told me like he didn't really fucking understand what he did. And so
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I called him later, and I was like, you know, I was like, do you understand why that wasn't appropriate? And he said to me, he goes, I thought that it was okay because you'd invited me in your bed.
Mm,
So
right.
he was a young man. Didn't no, I'm not saying this about Buddy. This guy's a grown fucking man. He knows
Yeah,
this
yeah.
girl
No,
said
I
no 3
understand.
fucking
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But you know, like there's a responsibility, and it really becomes, you know, when we're talking about consent and we're teaching young men about consent, you know, we're basically saying don't women, but are we really teaching them like the different
Well,
situations
yeah,
where like
no, like
this
the
is rape,
nuances of
this is
what
consent?
assault is. Yeah, no, that's the problem,
Well,
and I
and
think,
even situations
yeah,
where, you know, there are sometimes girls that are like, oh my God, stop. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, no, I
And like,
understand. It's the persistentness and like the interpretation. That's the thing, and that's the problem. Is
and
like
again, this
people,
is completely separate from this
yeah,
girl situation. I don't want anybody to try to like
right,
bleed
yeah.
me like, yo, Chloe's saying this about this.
No, I don't
No,
think anybody would
completely
do that.
separate. Just reminded me.
But I
Yeah.
think that's a problem. That's like people say that like that type of culture doesn't exist, and like, you know, they'll constantly talk about how like, hey, I know when it is bad. It's like, yeah, you know when it's bad, but like, what about the nuances? What about the persistentness of it? What about like the, because men are taught to be persistent, and like, what
Right.
about, what about the power dynamic where like, you're alone with a girl and like she feels helpless and like she says no, and then you're like, oh come on, and then she feels like she can't say no or you're gonna hurt her, kind of a thing.
Well, and I
There's a
think we've
lot to
all
it.
been in situations where, you know, I know lots of guys as well that have been in that situation where, you know, it's they don't want to say no. And um I think and not to like stereotype guys, just in situations where I've talked to men, they've been uncomfortable for saying no for a few different reasons.
Mhm.
One, they were worried about getting a false accusation because, you know, their friend that it happened to them, where like, you know, it happens sometimes. Like I've seen some fucked up shit growing up, or you know, they don't want their friends to like think that they're gay or something like that. But like they
Mhm.
really don't want to sleep with this girl. Like they
It's about
put her to bed on
toxic
the couch.
masculinity.
Yeah, well, it is, and
Yeah,
toxic
this.
masculinity is it's real, and it affects, you know, it affects boys because, you know, there's even that, you know, if you don't fit into this masculine blah blah blah, then like you're not a man, and like it's just toxic masculinity really hurts everybody. But I mean, I believe that
Yeah,
toxic
I get that.
masculinity is created from unrealistic expectations of men, you know,
Well, sure, yeah, there's a bunch of it. Like, it's not just like a man's fault per se. Like, it's a
and not that
societal
they're not
thing.
liable
Yeah.
for their own choices, but society
No, yeah.
has.
Well, most people would say toxic masculinity doesn't exist. Sexual assault culture. And the only reason I'm saying it like that is because, I try not to use too many bad words. It doesn't exist. You know, people say all that, and like it's always I don't know. It's unfortunate. A lot of conservatives on TikTok are always talking about that kind of shit. So,
Yeah, no, it definitely, you know, toxic masculinity. And I even, you know, I have this girl, Abby, who's also a men's rights advocate. She's young. And I caught her in one of her videos saying the same thing. And I was like, no, 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 no. toxic masculinity definitely does exist. It's, you know, even those moments where like you introduce your girl to your buddy and your buddy starts trying to flex on your girl. Like, you know, it's, you know, there's lots of situations where like there is toxic masculinity, just like there's toxic femininity. And so like we need to call that out and check it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Is there anything lighter you'd like to talk about?
My child is going to be home soon with her nanny, so I actually have to get the main floor like tidied up before she's home.
No problem. No, I didn't mean to like try to derail you. I just meant like I didn't know if you had any other jovial things you wanted to talk about.
No, I didn't take it like that at all. No, like I said, according to my nipples, summer's over.
Okay.
So it's time to like stay inside. So
right, yeah,
you're not selling eggnog at the stores yet, I don't think. So
I can't wait for it to be colder. I like the cold. Like I'm built for it, you know, I'm very burly.
Where do you live?
I live in New York, so it gets cold over here.
Oh yeah.
Probably not as much as Canada, but well, what is it right now for you?
Hey Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
I'm not sure where you are. For future reference,
can you Google Calgary, Alberta?
For now, weather and what
Alexa,
location?
stop talking.
Oh, what is? Let's see. Oh, it's 25 degrees. Holy shit! Yeah, it's cold over there.
What is it? What is it Celsius?
I think it's fair. Is it Fahrenheit? I don't know. Good question. I think it's Fahrenheit. I'm pretty sure it's fair. Yeah, it's Celsius -4. Right? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because it's
yeah, we don't use Fahrenheit. We use Celsius.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 14 degrees Celsius over here. So it's not as nearly as cold as it over there. Yeah.
That's warm.
Yeah. Right. So I didn't know what the comparability of it.
Spring. That's our spring.
See, there you go.
That's like not even sweater weather. That's shirt weather. Y'all wearing jackets outside?
Not yet. No. I wear my teddy. I wear my teddy fresh sometimes. I don't know if you know.
Do you guys go like below zero?
Very, very rarely. Okay, so for us, what is 0 to us? I don't know if it's 0 to you.
Yeah, I don't know what 0 is for you guys.
32 degrees is like our 0. So like, yeah, we go below 0 pretty often. Yeah, I thought you meant like our 0 for a second. No, we don't really. But yeah, no, we'll get down there.
You should convert. So last year we were the coldest place on the planet.
That's awesome.
Like even the North Pole. And you should Google. We went to -50. You should Google what that is Fahrenheit.
Okay, let's see.
-50 Celsius.
Let's see.
It was cold. They
they're
telling people to stay inside.
I have to just learn how to spell these things. What the fuck is happening?
Celsius?
Yeah.
CEL.
What the? Hold on. It's telling me. It's telling me that I'm getting unusual traffic to my thing. So it's like Fahrenheit to Celsius. And it's telling me that that was weird. Alright, so what did you say yours was?
-50 it went last year. I think it went to -52, but we'll just say
that's
-52.
Apparently in Fahrenheit that's -58.
How does that make sense?
It's just the way the scale works. I don't know.
That's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Would you guys be able to survive in -58?
I mean, I imagine we could survive.
Possible numbers to you?
We could probably survive. I just don't know if we'd want to, you know.
Does that seem impossible to Americans? Like that number?
You know what it is? It's that no one out here is prepped for that type of temperature. You know, like when it gets to our 0, which for you would be like -18. Like we're barely prepped for that in New York. Like our pipes burst like in everything. It's a fucking disaster.
-18 is like that's like that's like a warm winter here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's like a pretty cold winter. That's a cold winter for us. Like usually
that's -18 Celsius, right?
Yeah, right. So we hit about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, like the lowest. So maybe like -6 for you guys is like our lowest temperature.
We have a pretty standard winter. Like without wind chill, because we get wind chill. So a pretty standard winter is like -26 to -30.
Okay, that's pretty crazy. That's fun. That's not that bad.
That's like an every.
So how the hell do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Like what do you do for a living? If you don't mind me asking, is it the Patreon?
Yeah, like is that
that's
how
cool.
I like live? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's comedy. It's a lot of you know, there's like a lot of misconceptions about my Patreon, and like I own what I do. Like I definitely.
I mean, listen, and like I know what we're getting to. If you do like whatever type of like, it's nothing wrong with it. Like people give people too much shit for that, you know.
It's just not what it is.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
and I support it. It's just not what people think it is. It's not like, oh, you join, it's just like, yo, butthole, or just like videos of me and like toys and stuff. I'm a classy lady. Like I'm a lady. Okay. It's never ever gonna be like that. Like it's just not like that. You know, for like all my patrons on the top tier, like I know the majority of them by their first name. I know what they do for a living.
What is
I know
your
about
top
their
tier?
dogs.
How much is your top tier?
69.
Oh. That's
69.99.
That's okay. My top tier is 15. I just started one, so I'm not going too crazy. Yeah.
Is it sexual?
No. I have an OnlyFans, but like it's not like it's not like a porn one. I have it for like just like silly pictures of myself. Like I have like a photo shoots of me painting my stomach.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. I don't do porn. I know that I know that there's been like a few like leaks out there that people have titled like from my OnlyFans. I don't have an OnlyFans. And they only came from my ex-boyfriend Sam, who is currently being taken to court and being sued and charged with revenge porn. So it just kind of makes me sad because people are like, oh, this is blah blah blah, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I mean, if someone paid $69.99, I imagine they wouldn't leak that. I mean, Jesus, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter anyways.
I'm
sure people would, but I, you know, like I ID my Patreons anyways. If you even want to have the option for private content, like you got to be my Patreon for like a few months. Like it's not like you join and then, you know what I mean? So like I get to know who you are. You know, like there's no.
So you're like you're like an online girlfriend for like a bunch of guys, right?
Like not really. A lot of them got wives. I mean, I guess, but not really. Like a friend.
Oh, it's funny. I'm just teasing. That's funny though.
I like that concept though. I like that.
Like the GFE, give them the girlfriend experience. Yeah, but like
that was basically my friend and I were talking about that the other day. That was basically like the old fashioned like escorting, I guess. Essentially.
Yeah. Like it's just like the nice girlfriend experience. Like, hey, how are you, hon? Yeah, I get that. That's nice. Yeah, I don't do it.
I think that it's a sweet idea.
Mine's just a workout blog, and then like I'll do some TikToks I don't post on TikTok, and then like I'll put people on my top tier 15. It just makes it so I shout you out at the end of all my YouTube videos. That's pretty much it. You know.
Like Patty Mayo. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's just I just have like a screen, my ending screen. I could show you my end screen if you want. So I'll show you my. It's fun. You'll like it. So I'm just gonna show it to you only because I know you're gonna like it.
You should do that for your. I should start doing that for my merch. You should do that too.
What's that? The twerk?
Hey, what are your analytics like?
Oh, that dog shit. Hold on. I'm gonna show you my ending screen, then we'll clarify what you're talking about. Here you go. You ready for my ending screen? There we go. I'll show everybody on YouTube also. I'll make sure I put it. You ready? So this is my ending screen right here.
I don't think I've ever seen that much of your body before.
And it's just me twerking.
Why are you twerking better than I can?
I'm good at twerking. Yeah, so that's my like little end screen. And then I have Ryan Beard Official?
Yes.
Yeah, so he actually wrote my end song for me, just so you know. Like it's
without all you guys, I would just be some fat dude.
There you go. I like it. I love this song.
Mwah, I love you all. I want
there we go.
Papa to pee on my face. But just
I love it. I love it.
There's nothing weird about that.
I paid him $5 for that song.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I came in and he's like, "Oh, subs can request songs," and I said, "So I was talking about peeing on me," and he's like, "I gotcha," and he just started doing it on Twitch live. It was so funny. But what do you? So analytics. What do you mean? What are my analytics like?
Yeah, like I mean, I guess we'll talk about it more privately. I guess probably should, but I'm just wondering what your analytics are because if you're,
are you talking about like money wise?
No, analytics like views and stuff, like your views.
Oh yeah, so I'm. It depends on the video. Like I'm still feeling on my content and what people like. Most people are from YouTube, so like, or rather, they're from TikTok. So
do you have merch?
I have some merch. Yeah, I don't know how to get into the YouTube. I'm wearing it right now. This is my shirt.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. I have to get your. I'm actually in the process of buying your merch. I try to buy everybody's merch.
Oh, that's dope. Thank you. Well,
yeah.
Just don't buy it. I'll just send it to
No,
you.
it's okay. There's nothing. Let me buy it from you. It's better.
You should buy it because everybody's trying to fucking lie lie and say that I don't send people merch, but little do they know I'm fucking signed.
No,
So
don't
I have a merch deal, so I don't even touch my merch. I don't
Right.
touch any of it. Somebody else does it for me, and you can look
Yeah.
up the people I'm signed with. They're very well known.
Well,
They got some
I
big
just do it
names.
on Teespring. So yeah, no, I don't touch any of my
They're
merch
so
either.
funny. No, but I was asking because I got signed with Vision Commerce, which has essentially helped me, like, you know, I stopped getting banned on TikTok. I freaking, you know, they like handle all your merch.
What is, like,
and
a
stuff
PR
that.
thing?
I guess so. Just look them up. Vision Commerce.
All right.
Vision Commerce Group. So they're
Vision. Hell, is it
Commerce.
Constellation Software? No, that's not right.
Commerce.
Where is that from Canada?
Yeah, Edmonton, Alberta is.
Oh, okay, that's why.
But they have
don't know.
lots of. They got like a few other big TikTok. I'm not obviously privileged to know who their clients are, but they're pretty big companies. So the guy who signed me, like, I worked really hard over the past couple months, and like worked to like make the money, and now he's my agent. So now
that's cool.
he's like, yeah. So now when I go
Here,
on
I'll
tour
show
and stuff
everybody
like
else.
that.
So I don't have any branding deals or any advertisers.
Yeah, so these guys do like everything
There we go.
for you. So that's
Boom.
what I was gonna ask what your analytics are like, because I bet you I could slide your name to Ben, and you know, I almost wonder if they would snag you. I think
Maybe.
they would. Because it really is based off of analytics. It's investment based, right? So they invest on you based off of your analytics, right? Your analytics are good, then they go like, okay, there's an investment opportunity here.
Right.
So they picked me up probably like back in March. And like, honestly, I don't think I'd be here today if it weren't for Ben. I wouldn't have been able to make the setup for like the donations. I wouldn't be able to tour. I would, but it would just be really difficult. So
yeah, I'll check it out. I don't know, because I like to, you know, my big thing is like losing myself into the branding.
Oh no.
Yeah. No,
Ben,
I have,
it's, I kind of feel bad because I didn't even know, but Ben was saying that he's probably, especially back when I was like super controversial, he said he was probably getting called into the office like at least once, having to be like, no, this is just Chloe, and he never once was like, Chloe, don't say this, don't do that. Like, you know, it's not management. That's what I think is like the biggest misconception, is that they manage you, tell you what to say. Absolutely not. I mean, he advises me, you know, not to do certain things based off like marketing and like what would like honestly make me look like an asshole, you know, responding 6 times to this one person. He's probably like, yo, you're probably gonna look like a dick. But you know, I haven't he's been really helpful. It's not like that. So if you want, I can pass like at least your name off and he can look at your analytics
if you want, yeah,
himself.
sure.
But I think it'd be really
nice.
beneficial.
Yeah.
And I think it could help you take off. And I want to shout out your I'm going to shout out your YouTube on my YouTube as well, because I know I have a lot of followers that do follow you. I didn't even know you had a YouTube.
Yeah, see. I'm trying to make a gaming one
Twitch.
too. I have a Twitch, and then I basically just cut out pieces of my, like, I'll cut out segments of Twitch, like when I talk about like politics and stuff like that. And then I'm doing a YouTube one that's like going to be specifically for gaming, because I have a lot of young fans who just like the gaming stuff too. And when I post everything together, like it tanks my views, so.
Yeah, once I get my kid into like school, I'm gonna, because I really like to game and stuff like that. So I think
you should play Phasmophobia. It's my favorite game right now. It's like a 4-person.
Homophobia.
No,
it's
it's actually transphobia. No, it's Phasmophobia. So it's a really cool. It's in alpha. But it's like a 4-person like co-op, like little horror kind of a game where, you know, you go into like a particular haunted house or school or asylum, and then you try to figure out what kind of ghost is in there, and then you get the fuck out of there. It's very cool.
Xbox One?
I don't think so. I think it's on PC only. It's an alpha on Steam.
I mean, I might get a PC, but I'm definitely Xbox One.
Yeah, see, there you go. You got to get a PC, and then we could have like our own little incel gaming corporation. Me, you, Nick Foster in here, and then maybe we can get Joe Robe.
Oh my god, I don't want to be in any category. I was actually so pissed because I landed on famous birthdays and they butchered a lot of my information, but right at the end they were like associated with Nick Foster jokes, and I was like, you know, I'm associated with a lot of people on TikTok. Why did you have to pick the one fucking guy that makes a shit ton of rape jokes?
Yeah, it's a tough one. He's a nice guy, but he's so nice. It's a rough.
Like, I support him to pieces, but you know, it just doesn't make you look very good.
No, well, I like the guy too. I'd say me and him are friendly. I told him the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I don't like the assault jokes. It's too much for me. It's you know. But you know,
I mean, I don't really. I mean, I think dark humor was like always acceptable when you read the room, and unfortunately, with social media, there's no way to read the room. And you're kind of like, you know, you don't know what somebody went through that day. You know, you don't know if somebody might have just got home from getting a rape kit. They have to go online.
Plus,
and see
TikTok
that.
like pushes people who wouldn't normally interact together. So
Yeah, and you know, it sucks because you do have the freedom of speech. I do get what he's saying. It is kind of trying to normalize, like, yo, you don't control what other people do. I get that, but you know, again, like we also do kind of have a responsibility to society to be
my
mindful
thing
of
is
each other.
I just prefer not to consume it. You know, I just don't consume that type of content. Like that's, you know what I mean?
I think he's toned down on it. I haven't. I know actually. I think his jokes have been about.
Calvin and Joe Robe and all that shit. So
I mean, I understand why
he's joking about it in a better way now. I guess you could say it's better. He's joking about it in a better way. Yeah,
I've seen improvement. I don't know. I'm proud of him. I think it's funny.
So, well. I don't know if you had any other questions. I know you had to take off. Yeah, so if you have to get out of here now, that's fine. Or if you had any other questions.
I don't know if I have any other questions. Oh, yes. I just wanted to say, I don't remember how long ago it was. I don't remember what it was. But I remember I like made some video that was like rude or something. And I think you made a video. I don't remember what it was. And I might be mistaken. But I think you'd made a video that was like basically like pointing out kind of like where I sound like an asshole. And if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure it's you. And I just wanted to say that, like, I respect you for that. And, like, I know that, you know, I haven't always had, like, the best views or views that, like, you've agreed with. But, you know, I do really want to thank you for,
I appreciate
I respect you a lot.
I appreciate the open-mindedness, and I respect you, too. Well, you get a bad rap, I think. I think you get a little...
Well, you know, sometimes it is, you know, I have to be more mindful of, you know, but I think sometimes people forget it's just me. Like, I don't have parents to like guide me or be like, yo, maybe don't say that. Like, you know, it's just me kind of like, and I do have a good heart. But it's just important to grow, right? Not make excuses. So I just kind of try to like grow and learn from it. And that's all you can do.
I understand that. Yeah.
23 years old, you know, like I'm going to make mistakes, but it's just about whether you learn from it.
I get that. Yeah, no. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, right after you said that, it's going to be a video of me twerking for my followers who on Patreon. So, because that's the end. So,
oh, I wish I had a second phone. That is so funny.
There you go.
That's hilarious. How are you better twerking than I am?
I'm just good. It's honestly, it's just better hip flexibility. That's all it is.
You got to teach me.
I got
That's
better.
What you should add that to your page.
I'll do a twerking tutorial on my YouTube, and you can watch it. Okay. How's that sound?
All right. Have a good night. Thank you
too.
So much for
Take
having
care.
me.
Thank you for being on. Thank you. That was a good one.
Bye.
I want to say thank you so much, guys, to all my Patreons, and a special shout out to my Papa XL Patreons. Without all you guys, I would just be some fat dude screaming into a microphone. So thank you so much, guys. Mwah. I love you all. I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.